Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. DAPs.
Hello, I'm Cameron.
I'm the new Katie known as Matey.
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 That's
That one you're going to regret.
Yeah, that's a choice, and you've made it, and we're going to accept it and
Jumped
move forward.
right off the edge there.
Mm-hmm.
No parachute, just going for it. Talk.
Hello, friends on the internet and beyond. Using the hashtag Geeks Corner, you can communicate to us via the internet website known as the Twitters. Use Twitter, hashtag Geeks Corner. We will be able to see it here on the show live as it happens, and we may acknowledge you.
And we're a little bit short-staffed tonight, so the Geeks Corner's official Twitter will not be responding tonight.
Okay,
It'll
perfect.
be me as myself responding
I
tonight.
will not be responding.
You're not?
Nope.
Did you want to add something?
No, I'm just waiting you because you're the one responding. So.
Make sure you read it out loud.
We have a meme. Did you get the meme yet?
Oh.
It's not from Miss Bailey C. It's
What?
actually from Katie. And it was
Ooh.
tweeted at us without the hashtag Geeks Corner.
What?
Oh my gosh. What did
She,
you
of all
do?
people, should know
I
the
don't know,
rules.
but it was tweeted at me, so you
It's
can
why
find it that way.
Matey's on the show now.
You go and change your hair color, and everything's wrong.
Wait, that's Katie?
Might be. I don't know.
Matey.
Up is down, right is left. Up, down, left, right, start.
I'm confused. I don't actually. How is that spelled?
A-I-T-I-E, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing on Twitter, so
Yeah.
it must be true.
Yeah.
And I do have the meme.
Because
Oh,
Twitter
so
means everything's true.
let's take a look at this meme.
Did you know we were talking about Big Bang Theory a second ago?
That is
That's really
that's a
we
little bit
just
creepy.
Pre-show, we were just discussing Big Bang Theory. That's very odd.
That's insanely odd. I guess we should move on, right?
Probably.
Do you want to do the segue into the first topic?
Uh,
I don't want to do the segue into the first topic. You do the segue into the first topic.
So Tauntaun Jones is on.
That's not the first topic.
No, don't worry, Tauntaun
Okay.
Jones is very sad today because Princess Leia is no longer with us
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
She's with the Force now.
She's with the Force.
She is one with the Force.
That too.
And the Force is with her.
binds us, surrounds us. It's in the tree, in the rock.
So one of the things that was great about Carrie Fisher is she did have a very great sense of humor. I got to go to her panel at Star Wars Celebration last year, and we thought we'd take a few minutes and share memories and funny moments we thought of her, and give our own reaction to Carrie Fisher's death, which was just this morning, and something this big doesn't usually happen, so we changed the show around a bit. But one of the things you quickly discover is she went through a lot of rough things in life, and through all of it, she had an ability to make it humorous. And so as we go into our first segment today, which isn't actually so fun, it's about Carrie Fisher's death. I guess let's start. What did you like best about Carrie Fisher?
That is, as you mentioned, the resilience. I mean, you gotta remember, she started on A New Hope at 19, I think, was the age.
Might have even been 17.
It's just super young to be thrown into this ridiculous world, and to be able to come through that without a few scars would have been impressive. She did get beat up along the way, but the fact that she came out the other end as whole as she was, and to be able to turn that into a positive thing. One of the biggest things I respect about Carrie Fisher is her outspoken nature to talk about things that are often difficult to talk about, mental illness that she suffered from, but was willing to turn it into a positive and discuss, put it in the public forum. I thought that was an admirable thing, especially after all of the difficulty she had with it in her life.
I think she had just a great humor, and I think even what you were saying for her being so young and in A New Hope at first, and still liking Star Wars for all her life. There's I don't know, it's not really a satire film. It's Fanboys is the name of the film, but it's about fans of Star Wars, and they go about. She had a cameo in it, and like there was a little homage to. I think it was an homage to the Luke and Leia kiss, and she just seemed like she wanted to be in it, even through the acting and all. And so I applauded her cameo that she was willing to be in that movie.
And you hear stories like that all the time of, I mean, how many hundreds of young boys, that was their first great love, was Princess Leia. To not be...
Well, really, isn't she the first geek, like, female role, like, leading lady? Like, if you think about it...
Well, establish one that isn't just a floozy that's thrown away. And I think that's an important thing to
Right,
acknowledge.
because she was the first of the genre. Like,
Yes.
that's the first of that type of movie. She's the first of this type of character, which has led to so many other characters across the Lucasfilm realm, into Marvel realm, into Star Trek. Like, it's... What she led has been everywhere now.
And the irony is not lost on us that we have an all-male panel talking about what could be one of the greatest feminist icons in cinematography. The amount that she did for the female role, that being a strong role and not just a throwaway secondary character, is insurmountable. I mean, it was huge. The credit she's added to in sci-fi and in film in general. You hear these discussions of the role of women in cinema, and she was always very much, no, I'm an actor, and that's the thing I did. It just happens to be that I'm a woman, and that was an amazing stance to take, especially in 1977 when she was starting it.
So, favorite Star Wars moment? With Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia.
For me, it's a tie either between... towards the end of 6 and then all 3. I'm actually going to go with Force Awakens 7.
Really?
Yeah, and the reason for it is it's General Leia, and I think that's a super important thing.
So you might change that in a year to Episode 8, because I understand she has a much larger role in this
yes,
movie.
it's all filmed. Everything is good for it. Now, I'm curious to see how they handle it, because she was scheduled to be in Episode 9, and to the best of my knowledge, she didn't have anything filmed for it. But we'll see. But yeah, so far, Episode 7, just because, and this is something I was discussing earlier, from a storytelling standpoint, Luke Skywalker runs away, Han Solo runs away, all of these other main characters flee in the time of great need after, trying to squelch the Empire. She's the only one that sticks around to represent that in film and to still be the central strong character throughout.
And really, she does that even in the original
She
trilogy,
does, yeah.
too.
She's always the one leading the charge, and she doesn't. Well, the Force is obviously with her. She has sense with her brother and everything, but like she's not a Jedi. She's not. She doesn't have supernatural abilities that give her an advantageous edge, and she's not.
That we know of.
Well, could still happen.
Who knows what will happen?
She's not, this super experienced smuggler with access to a ship. She's just somebody who decided something needed to be done.
And is a strong leader.
And a very strong leader, yes. So, respect for the character and being able to represent it that well. So, 7 for me.
I really like her in Empire Strikes Back, and when she's on Hoth, and it's still the way she carries herself.
The strength and the vulnerability at the same time.
Yeah, with other male leads, and
Now, that's not just because you're holding that, right?
Yeah,
it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, not just episode 5 because of it.
Tauntaun Jones didn't tell me to say that. No, but it's, she had great fun lines with Han, and you could just tell that she was one of the commanders in that base, but had fun with her friends too. So I think Carrie Fisher just did a great job as Leia in that.
And it's worth mentioning, and I talked a little bit about, there's an article up on DAPs where I'm discussing this, that there is a lot of credit that needs to be given to the writers of these scripts. Everything right down to the lighting text are really helping to form how you perceive this character. But at the end of the day, it's Carrie Fisher imbuing herself into this character that makes the character what it is. So to those who would argue that you're not mourning the loss of the person, you're mourning the loss of the roles they played, they're inseparable. I mean, once a person has established themselves as that character, they become a part of the zeitgeist of that character. And it's important to note that we are mourning the loss of Leia because we did lose part of Carrie Fisher with it.
Yep. I'm going to have to say episode 4 is some of my favorite Carrie Fisher moments, mainly when she first meets Han and Chewbacca, just because of the amount of...
Regal sass?
Yes, that's a good word to put. Flyboy and walking carpet and all of these
These people that are rescuing her.
that are beneath her, and it's just a great setting her up for what she'll become and what they'll become later on in the series. So I think I was thinking of other moments throughout the movies, and I was like, no, I think it really comes down to some of those first moments when you see her with Luke and Han and Chewie, who become her best friends in the world, and more. But
the galaxy, yes.
The galaxy, yes. And just looking at that immediate chemistry between the three of them, that, it's like we were talking about Top Gear the other night, and the chemistry between those three guys, you can't just make. It just happens. And I think that happened with those three characters as well. Like, you see them together on stage as themselves, or you see them on the movies as their characters, and that same chemistry is there, where it's just, there's something special that happened that's magical, and that'll never be found again for these movies, I would guess. As much as I loved Force Awakens, I didn't see that same chemistry between Rey and totally spacing their names, Poe and Finn, and they get along fine, and I like them well enough. And
but it's not that like immediate camaraderie that you feel like
there wasn't that magic.
Yeah.
Where the moment, everything just clicks into place the moment they're all together, and Chewie should be included in that too.
Yes, very much so.
Where you just know that these four people, beings, can do anything.
You can see Carrie Fisher caring about Peter Mayhew separate from
totally.
that. Like, it's not just the fact that it's a dude in a suit. It's
seeing the
obvious
two of them at Star Wars celebrations together, or even on Twitter together. You can just see the love that they had for each other. That I'm sure it's a rough night for all of that family extended around the globe really now, as they're dealing with this whole new thing. It will be interesting to see what that means for the future of Star Wars, because I'm sure they were setting up this 3-movie arc for their story that now is going to be dramatically changed, unless there's something we don't know about happening in Episode 8. But
which I would
from what I understand, she was supposed to be in Episode 9 as well, and be fairly significant in that role as well. So we probably just saw the change of the future of Star Wars, and it'll be a Star Wars now that we will never know for what would happen in 9. And
which, in the overarching things, oftentimes these forced changes, no pun intended, help to shape... They help to shape ultimate storylines in a way that they couldn't have originally perceived. I'm curious to see what direction they decide to take these movies in because of Carrie's passing. And it may make for a more meaningful outcome that wouldn't have been possible before. Not to say that that's ideal, but there's an option. I just really hope that they give Leia a proper send-off in script.
Well, and if they do, you're going to totally see it in the characters around her and how they react on screen.
Right.
And if they do this right, it could become the
moment.
It could be it could be the Luke, I'm your father moment of this trilogy, because I don't think they've had that yet. I don't think the Han thing was even remotely close, and it'll be interesting to see how they deal with this and what they do next. Did either of you see any of her other stuff?
Her other films? Yeah. I mean, she's been working in so many different... She's amazing at comedy. Just so quick-witted. And we were discussing cameos even before, even more so than her guest appearances. When she's in something for like 30 seconds,
she owns
the
it.
Funniest thing ever. She was in what is it, Dazed and Confused, I think, and it was really good as a guest star. Amazing stuff.
She was in Smallville.
She was in Smallville.
I watched Smallville, so can attest to that. But yeah, even her appearance in Smallville, I kind of knew it was her, but not really. Like, she just did a good job where it's like, it wasn't Princess Leia in Smallville, it was Carrie Fisher in Smallville.
Yeah, she always did a good job of being the person. I mean, I was thinking of, we were at Fingerprints up in Long Beach today, and they had already set up this, Carrie Fisher section that had Star Wars, obviously, but When Harry Met Sally, and I think it was Jay and Silent Bob. She made a cameo, is that correct? And
yes,
and then they had candles, and they had playing cards or something. I don't remember. But you don't think of, oh yeah, she was in When Harry Met Sally, and she had a very significant role, and she actually had the kind of domestic life which you don't really ever think of her having, and she was that, the friend that had the perfect life with the husband, and nothing exciting happened really other than fighting over a table, and that was pretty funny too, and
to be able to see her be able to play that different kind of role is amazingly impressive. After playing a role like Leia, most actors, I would say the majority of actors, will get stuck with that.
Oh yeah.
Like you look at Daniel Radcliffe still hasn't come back from being Harry Potter, and I don't know if he ever will. I mean, he's tried. He's doing stage stuff, which I hear is very good, but...
Well, and I would say for the most of the world, Mark Hamill hasn't either.
Right.
He will always be
if you
that.
know the Joker, but still he couldn't be on camera with his face and do that.
Yep.
So to be able to transcend that too.
Yep. Any final thoughts on Carrie Fisher as we move along?
It's going to be difficult shoes to fill for the world to be able to continue to comment with her zaniness and to be as prolific. So much stuff that she did off camera, whether it was script doctoring, the large majority of movies in the 90s, if you enjoyed them, Carrie Fisher probably had a hand on them.
Sister Act.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oftentimes uncredited. She just fixed them.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. So to be able to have that kind of wit and to be able to contribute so much very unselfishly is a rarity, and it's not going to be something that comes around too soon, I don't think. So step up, everybody else. We got some work to do.
Final thoughts on Carrie Fisher?
I keep thinking of Star Wars Celebration.
That's
And
what keeps popping in my head too.
This next year, and
She
always
owned it.
That was her. I don't know what to call it. It wasn't really a presentation. It's just
Her panel.
She just
sat on a couch and talked with her dog, and and it was hilarious. Not always appropriate, but it was absolutely hilarious. It was one of the highlights for me of Star Wars Celebration.
And I've always heard too, if she'd take questions from fans, and so.
And she's so doggone real.
Yeah,
there's no pretense, there's no nothing. She's like, this is what I like, and.
So I just keep thinking about that.
Yep, that's actually what's popped into my head, and I'm
different.
And you also have to wonder about Gary, because that I hope it ends up in the right place. He ends up in the right place. But all right, let's move on. There's Gary and Carrie Fisher at Star Wars Celebration, the dynamic duo really, and. Yeah, it'll be definitely a big hole at Star Wars Celebration next spring in Florida. All right, let's move on to something a little bit happier, and actually let's do something very happy and show a meme. I hope it's a happy meme. Where the geek, all snug in her bed, she dreamt of the meme she'd make in 2017. Yes, that's a good pivot point. So back to 2016. What were the top stories of 2016 that we covered on Geeks Corner? Or maybe should have covered on
There's a lot of stuff this year, man.
Is this a game where we guess what had the most traffic?
No, because that never lines up with what we think's a big story.
True.
Let's
We're
see.
like, oh, this is gonna be big. Nobody watched. What's going on? Yeah.
What were the biggest Disney films this year?
We had Moana. We
Pretty
had
much
Rogue
I
One.
shouldn't say all of them, but animated ones. Moana, Zootopia.
Was it Zootopia this year?
See, that's what I
keep
was
forgetting
just
that.
wondering
Yeah.
if Zootopia was this year.
I think it was.
Crazy.
That's insane. So much has happened this year that that feels like that was 3 years ago.
Star Wars Land broke ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we. I was gonna say Southern Lost. That'd be a sad episode if I still.
Running of the Goats disappeared.
It did.
Oh,
Yeah.
the goats left
Like
this year.
very-
That might be
We're
the
doing positivity.
number one.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
It's a happy memory, Tyler. I was there for the last Running of the Goats.
Yeah. We have it on the YouTube channel.
It's on the YouTube channel.
So.
We saw the end of the 60th.
I don't know if that was the biggest story though.
No, but I was.
What
worth
is
noting.
let's just narrow it down. What was the biggest story
The country bears coming
biggest.
for
back.
geeks?
Country Bear's coming back.
Um,
I would. I know it feels like so late in the game, but for me, it's probably either Doctor Strange or Rogue One. Doctor Strange personally.
biggest story of 20.
Rogue One probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Biggest story.
Well, I mean, it's the biggest thing that happened
They're-
in my geek realm.
They're redoing a castle in Hong Kong. They're opening.
Doesn't affect
They
me here.
opened a completely new Disney theme park in
I didn't go.
China. But we're asking what the biggest story is.
Yeah.
It has
Well,
nothing to do with you.
And there's there's Guardians.
Guardians of the
taking over
Galaxy is
Tower of
taking
Terror.
over Tower of Terror.
Oh no! That's right.
So you think Rogue One is a bigger story than?
I do, because it's more people were interested in it. More people got so much more enjoyment leading up to it with all of the hype. How much did we talk about it to the point where it actually became a joke if we were going to mention Star Wars in the episode?
But that happens with every Star Wars movie.
It does
Do you
happen with
remember
every
that
Star. It
last
doesn't
year?
negate the fact that it was the biggest. It was just this one.
I don't think it was the biggest.
I
I think if it was as big as Force Awakens, I would agree with you, but it's not.
will agree Force Awakens was bigger, but
And better.
that was
I
last
do
year.
think it was big. Rogue One
And
was
I will
big,
admit,
but-
this is for another show, but having just watched A New Hope, after seeing the Rogue One, it knocked down Rogue One a few things in my. I picked up on some things that are bothering me now, and I won't say them now because I don't want to ruin it for people. But yes,
Like the Death Star is upside down.
minor technicality.
You know how space works, right? Because
No, I know.
Okay. It's 9:52.
What about the animal kingdom,
just
the
checking
water
Twitter.
show? That's
Oh yeah, what about Rivers of Light?
That's the big
Is
stuff.
that?
Yeah.
I don't know if that is a story or like.
It's 9:52.
Is it 9:52 already? I better check.
Yours doesn't work.
It does. I have too many people tweeting at me right now. There it is.
What a
Sorry.
rough problem to
I know.
have.
I'm too popular. Oh no.
Oh my.
with the jar of dirt.
That's in a minute.
Again.
I know the show. So biggest story.
I don't know.
You really think it's
still,
Rogue One?
I still vote Rogue One.
What do you think?
I think Shanghai Disneyland.
I think so too.
I'll just be over here by myself then. Who will I talk to?
Well, you know what? You,
Oh wait,
No,
you
but
both
I think
you both could
pretty
say
close
Rogue One,
second.
and I could still overrule you.
it's true.
And I would
It's-
say
it's-
a very close second is Rogue One. But
I would actually agree with that. And the only reason, yeah, I can't say why.
did you
Someday we'll come back and we'll talk about Rogue One, and I'll tell you why
I had my problems with it too. That's that, but
I
that
have
is
more
an entirely
problems
different
now.
show.
Yeah.
That is a long,
we
different
have
discussion.
gone through, or after this episode is done, like 2 weeks of not really like.
Right, but we
talking
need
about
more
it.
than 5 minutes to talk about Rogue
Yeah.
One. Maybe next week we'll get to talk about Rogue One.
We could do a good, the bad, and the ugly, but that's a whole episode.
So Shanghai Disneyland, we're going to say, was the biggest geek story of. We even had hats on Geeks Corner
True,
from
we did have
Shanghai
hats.
Disneyland, and we had. What did we have after Rogue One?
Feelings?
Sadness.
I was going to say we had a stormtrooper standing behind you, but whatever. Let's talk about the stormtrooper. Why did you buy a stormtrooper? Was it a Christmas present or did you buy
Hi, honey,
it?
if you're watching, I bought a stormtrooper.
Sorry, I didn't know that was a secret.
Um,
And she is watching. She's been tweeting us the whole show.
I was
Asking what the
yeah,
stormtrooper.
I was at a store with a dear friend and producer Tyler, and we were shopping around for things. And I've been wanting one of these ridiculous things for a while, but they're
And since it's right after Christmas.
so they're normally uproariously expensive. This was on major buku discount, so now I have Stormtrooper. It's right there. Stormtrooper. I was trying to. Well, we had. If you saw the picture before the show, we had the Sherlockian hat on him with a cane. So we were trying to think his call sign would be FN221B. I think was the clever thing that I came up with, as they press their watch buttons to make the.
It's 9:54.
It's 9:54.
That was our way of telling you you're talking too long on this topic.
Okay, good.
Why are you wearing one of these? I mean, we've
I
had
got
one
of
for a
these.
while.
Yeah.
So everybody else is super cool here on the Geeks Corner crew, and I've already had Apple Watches for a while. But my dear in-laws got me a shiny new Apple Watch,
And we can see your
Um,
tweets.
so you can see the super cool tweets on. And I have.
If you'd have been more on the ball, you could have zoomed in right there, Tyler.
Who was it? Oh, it was Ladiva Jenny was on here.
Ooh.
Yes. Yes. So I have this, and it's been very difficult not to be checking it every 2 seconds for the entirety of the show.
Or pressing the time.
Yes, pressing the time. the whole time. Mickey Mouse talks to you.
Before we continue on with Geek Christmas presents, let's see the next meme.
Meme.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my fellow geek gave to me 12 Geeks Corner memes.
That's a lot of memes.
That's pretty
That
impressive.
is high density of memes.
Wow, I'm going to have to
Quite
go
a bit.
back and look at that full screen.
Did I make the 12 Geeks Corner memes?
Are you in
panel?
one? You're
Am
in
I?
the bottom left. I can see your beard.
Oh, good. You can see the beard from here. Beard hole. There it is.
Oh, there we go. Oh, and
Yeah, Battle Santa made it. Good.
you're not
good.
Battle Santa.
And Haley made it.
No, I'm saying Battle Santa made it.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Got it.
disillusion the magic.
I think you're in the top middle, too.
Am I?
On the right?
Yeah.
Yep, you are.
And in the
Congratulations.
center,
And you're in the middle on the left.
yeah.
The middle. Good.
The
That's
middle
specific.
left.
the right.
Middle down,
middle.
middle, left, middle.
Hey, you two. You sunk my battleship. No.
That was a good grand tour. Did you see that one?
Yes, it was. For those of
Yes.
you who are watching the Grand
That
Tour,
might
which
have to
probably not-
show up occasionally
That's
on Geeks Corner.
amazing. They're doing the Grand Tour, which is basically
All right,
Top
we're going to
Gear,
keep going with the
but
show,
it's
though.
amazing.
We'll come back with that. And yes.
Because
Yeah, Jenny's wanting to know why you buy anything.
Why do I buy anything?
Yeah.
Mostly because I can. Yeah.
Okay. Is there one more meme,
Collectibles.
Tyler?
Is there?
There might
Is
be
there?
one more. It's not loading up on my thing. Murray, what'd you get for Christmas? Did you get anything besides your watch for Christmas that was geeky?
Oh, let's see. I got my watch. Oh, I got a new VR headset, which I haven't even played with yet.
Who are you?
Yeah. So we have to play with that sometime.
Maybe you should just wear it for an entire show.
See, that was already mentioned to me. It's just been the entire time like, I'm on a roller coaster. And then, yeah. Yeah, so I
I
got
did
that.
find it funny how many people posted pictures on Twitter of their grandmothers wearing their VR thing. Because,
My grandmother-in-law was the one who bought it for me.
yes, Tyler, you
Your
look
wife
like you're
has
about to
tweeted.
die.
My wife has tweeted.
She didn't tag you, but she says
Did she tag Geeks Corner?
yes.
Okay, good.
She says, "Where is he living? What just happened?"
I
Probably my office, honey. Don't worry.
was gonna say he's not staying here.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Exactly. So what'd you get, Murray?
I for actual Christmas Day,
You see
Christmas
what happened?
presents.
Anything
were not-
Christmas geeky.
What's
What's that?
This isn't exactly Christmas though.
Oh, well, how'd you
This
get
was
it?
like 3 days before Christmas.
That's Christmas season.
Yep.
Okay.
There were lights
I got
on my
Tauntaun
house.
Jones.
Talk about Tauntaun Jones.
Tauntaun Jones is the best suit ever.
Why does it have handles?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Easier to carry him around.
So you don't fall off.
Does he open up? Does he have a?
He
like
does.
a
And
pouch?
here's something I have a
Why?
Tauntaun.
I have a huge problem with this. Can you demonstrate what Tauntaun Jones has the capability of doing?
What does he have the capability of doing?
Please demonstrate for everyone.
Does he make noise?
No.
Well, that would be
He
awful.
does open up. I knew it.
But here's the problem. Look at that. There are 4 things inside there. What is in there? There's Luke and Han, sure, fine. But also, I believe,
Another
a
Tauntaun.
Wampa
Baby
and
Tauntaun.
another Tauntaun.
Yeah.
So, one, we're implying that this was a mother Tauntaun.
Well, it's
That's
a
fine.
baby one.
Yeah.
No.
How'd the Wampa
No.
get there? That would have made that scene much darker.
Uh-huh.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Well, that was actually
Yeah.
all a dream
I would
from
hold
inside
you.
the Tauntaun.
Oh no.
So.
So
Yeah.
I have problems with that. But
Okay.
Tauntaun Jones, otherwise, totally cool.
Okay. I got for Christmas a saw.
Yep.
It's a Stradivarius. It's
Oh, I
a
saw
beautiful Stradivarius. Very well known. Very well known saw. We will not be playing it tonight because I can make it make noise, and
Are
that's
we going to
about
play
it.
with something tonight?
Yeah, we are, aren't we? And the other thing I got is an Enterprise that makes noise. I'm actually a little worried how I'm going to do this, but that's okay. Maybe I'll close this.
That's a good plan.
Oh, and I also got this jar of dirt. If you know what it means, let me know. It
Other than
means
that, it's
something.
a jar of dirt.
It's a jar of dirt.
It's a jar of dirt.
And it's not just
It's not,
a jar.
Not Pirates of the Caribbean.
And it's not just a jar with dirt in it. It's a jar of dirt. So as we wrap up the show tonight, we're going to do something that you should never do at home.
Which is have a ship get
Is
impaled into people's
fly a
heads.
starship in a room full of lights.
Yep.
I really actually don't know how this is going to work.
Let's do it.
I'm not sure.
You know what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up the show. You can leave the camera on a little bit before, and then as soon as it's crashing, you can switch to the credits.
Done.
All right, so that's all the time we have for tonight because it is
It's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
We'll see you around the corner. How did that get in here? You got At least one of us can fly it. We'll see you around the corner.